Amy, how do you get to the dark web?
Well, it's www.darkweb.org.
You can find...
It's an organization. .edu. It's an educational facility.
.gov.
.gov.
Is this why no one can find our social media? You put it all on the dark web?
You can find it all on the White House website, where every
That's
nightmare
the intellectual dark web.
Oh my God. That's where your soul goes to die. Oh.
Did you see Pete Hegseth quoted one of our favorite movies?
He did?
He thought he was quoting the Bible, apparently, but it's actually he
quoted Pulp Fiction, didn't he?
He quoted Pulp Fiction as if it was actual Bible quote.
Well, because some of it is, but it's mostly Samuel L. Jackson just kind of riffing.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth, you drunk fuck.
But MJ's got the better story.
What?
Oh, I sent it to you.
You sent it to me?
Yes, it is. Donald Trump plagiarized, or not plagiarized, like changed a couple of the words in his inaugural address in 2017. Got it from the Bee Movie. Looked it up. It was real.
No way. No way.
Let me find.
I mean, again.
There it is.
Amy, read it in his voice.
We are one nation. I can't do it. And their pain is our... I can't do his voice. He's so ugly and gross. Their dreams are our dreams, and their success will be our success. We share one heart, one home, and one glorious destiny. Barry B. Benson from the Bee Movie says, we are one colony, and their pain is our pain. Their dreams are our dreams, and their success will be our success. We share one heart, one hive. Oh my fucking God.
It's real. I looked it up on the White House website.
What? They have no original thought in that White House whatsoever. Because Melania took all of...
No, are we sure nobody said it before the Bee Movie?
Oh my God.
I would hope that they didn't steal the quote from the Bee Movie. that perhaps this was a quote that existed that they adapted for the Bee Movie.
But still.
So you can hope. However, I have no hope for this administration.
No. Trump is like remembering good times. So he's like, what did Fred Flintstone say in that one episode when he was at the Buffalo Lodge doing the water buffalo dance?
Welcome to the IA Critics 1996 podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. Hi, Amy.
I'm professional stomachache haver Amy Kernan.
MJ.
I'm professional sheep farmer.
Nope.
MJ.
And that's never going to change.
No.
I saw your sheep.
I made some gay sheep. They were great.
If you don't have a gay sheep of your own, contact MJ for more information.
Through Minecraft.
Through Minecraft,
Through
though.
Minecraft, yes. I can get you some Minecraft gay sheep.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're never too old to play with gay sheep. I've been saying that for how long? Like, since you were little, at least.
Yeah, at least 20 years.
At least 20 years.
Do sheep know they're gay?
No, you have to tell them.
Cover them if they know.
Hi, sheep. You're gay.
All sheep are Scott Thompson's characters.
That's exactly
from
right. They're all all sheep are named Scott Thompson. Although that makes it sound like, no, let's not do that. Because sheep and people and sheeple and
yeah.
Although I wish more people were like Scott Thompson.
I wish more people were like sheep, honestly.
And that was named Scott Thompson.
Well, a lot of people are like sheep with how they follow.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like how they follow.
I just want them to stand in a meadow eating grass. That's what I.
Really nice.
If we put more of those people out to pasture, we could just avoid them at work. That'd be great.
Oh, I think that works.
So put the old sheep out to pasture.
I just have to say this before we dive into one of the greatest films of all time. But I was at McDonald's this morning, right? And I totally just lost what I was going to say. What were you just
Old sheep.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking. So I'm like, I'm driving up. Window 1. They're like, roll around to window 1. And window 1 always gives you a receipt. Here's the thing. I don't want it. I just want to roll up to window 2, get my food. I ordered through the app. I can see what I spent. And then I got to thinking about all the people that would complain if they didn't have that window open to hand them their receipt. And then I started thinking, okay, but what sucks is that I'm not going to be alive when all those people die off and things are just normal. And I got mad about that. I got angry that I was the in-between generation, that I'm going to die before I get to see where people don't try to offer me my receipt. I'm sorry, I just got a little bitter there. I'm also PMSing, so.
So we watched This Island Earth.
AKA the Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie.
Yes, which is how you have to search for it, by the way. Don't search for This Island Earth.
I mean, you can search for This Island Earth.
You
Sean
won't find
just doesn't know how to work the internet.
Mystery Science Theater made a movie in 1996. It was released this weekend, 30 years ago.
Yes.
And you saw this in theaters.
I did see this.
What was that like?
It was kind of like watching it on your big TV.
It is a big TV.
Yeah. It's weird because I spent so many years, watching it on a very tiny TV that I had, because I had the DVD player. You just pop it in the TV, and it was little. And so seeing it on a bigger scale since the movie theaters, it was kind of beautiful. I got a little teary-eyed, I'm not going to lie. Actually, Sean looks there and goes, "Are you crying?" I'm like, shut up.
How long were you into Mystery Science Theater before the movie came out?
The very first episode I ever saw was Pod People. So it was during Joel era, so that would have been 91 or 92. And the only way I saw it was because our grandmother had cable, had that particular channel. We didn't get the Comedy Network or Ha. We didn't have those, I don't think. And so when we would go into town, Soup had a certain kind of cable that was a different cable that we had where we lived. And I would try to, when I stayed there on Saturday nights, you could usually catch a rerun or two. And by that point, 93 is when Mike came in, and I didn't miss one. And then I did miss a lot because, again, you couldn't see it in Princeton. But I kind of went back in and caught more in the sci-fi era. So then I went back and collected everything.
The main thing I remember about your Mystery Science Theater fandom is just the number of trees you killed just to print out chat room conversations about Mystery Science Theater.
If your back area of your house no longer has trees, it's because I use them to print out IRC chats.
You were worse than data centers are today.
I was. I used the public library. I mean, I ruined them because because they on the website, on the sci-fi website in particular, they had every episode breakdown, and then they'd have little snippets at the bottom that were from any one of the people that worked on the episode. So I wanted all of them. And I even got lucky one day to print a couple out in color, which did not go with the rest of the binder. But I still have the binder. I still have every single IRC chat. I have every bit of memorabilia stuck in there from my time in the fan club. And it's one of the, like, some people will be like, oh, I followed Weird Al's career my entire life, and I have all this stuff. I'm that person with Mystery Science Theater. I've got so much stuff. I've got boxer shorts. I've got T-shirts.
You should check the Lost Media Wiki to see if you have something that might be missing.
The weird thing is, they on YouTube, they've uploaded a lot that even I don't have. The only one that they don't have that I've seen is the film, I'm not going to think of the title. The Bees. And it's one of my favorite episodes, and I can't even think of the title because I'm in a lot of pain. But aside from that, I mean, yeah, you have to remember, like, I spent so much. eBay was brand new, and I once bought the VHS copy of a movie that had been released, but then they took it off the shelves. And so somebody put it on eBay for $80. I spent the $80, got it back. No sound. I could watch it, but there was no sound. I was so upset. And again, I'm young. I'm like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
I'm running a record store by this point. And I call this person trying to find out. They're like, there's nothing we can do. And so I sent a message to Best Brains about it, which is the production company, Mr. Science Theater, and got to talk to, I think it was Barb Tebben. And she was one of the main people in the office. And she's like, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but since it's on eBay, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, you don't have another copy there or anything like that? I spent all this money. No. And I'm like, okay, well, before I go, do you still see the guides? She's like, yeah, Mike was just in here changing a light bulb. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Mike Nelson just changed a light bulb, so. I've spent hundreds. One guy brought in a garbage bag of VHS tapes with 4 episodes per VHS into the store. He goes, I heard you're the one that likes MST. And I'm like, well, yeah, you could say. And he goes, I have a bag here. There's like 50 cassettes in it. And he goes, $80. And I'm like, I've done this before. Is there sound? Promise me there's sound. And he's like, oh, yeah. So I got him home. I have all the original commercials from the airing dates. Like, it's awesome. And I still have them all. And they all had sound. So,
wow.
Yeah. They're worn down now because I used to watch them. I put them in when I went to bed at night because there's 4 episodes. And now it's like YouTube. You get like 1,000. You go to sleep. And it's beautiful. But no one knows how hard I had to work to get all of these things. And now they're just handed to these children.
The 90s, you couldn't just watch whatever you wanted whenever you wanted.
You had to find it.
Yeah.
And pay for it.
Yeah,
just like porn.
It was a different time.
A different time.
This is the on-demand generation now.
You little pussies.
Where you have to pay $4 to watch something that you own.
Oh. It's true, because we were too lazy to put in the DVD player. We're like, we're not hooking this up. $4.
I gotta move this thing to get to a...
There's a cord and there's I don't know, things around.
Yeah.
There's things. Yeah. So...
Oh, we got an extension cord.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about this movie in particular, the fact that they made a movie, was that... And I think any fan would tell you this too. It's not that this Islander, it's not that the film isn't good, because it is. It's very funny. It's just that they have done funnier episodes, far funnier than what they had for the movie. But
why did they make this? I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I'm like, it is an episode of the show. I mean, it's basically.
But again, I did not like the design of the Satellite of Love in it. I mean, again, and all of our people, like the people from the show, like they worked on it. They had to make it a grander scale because it was a film. We get that. But for my money, as far as like, I don't know, episodes out of 96, 95, I guess, for my money, I think that there's just funnier episodes that were on Comedy Central.
They got $5 million and what'd they come up with? A hamster wheel?
and a large hamster wheel. A replica of the Hubble that probably cost most of the money. You have to understand, like, these guys have stretched a budget.
Yeah.
I mean, to just...
to have $5 million, they had to, like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this?
Yeah. It's like, just buy the Hubble. Okay, let's ruin it now. Okay. That sounds like something somebody would do today. You know what I mean? So
it seems like it was a weird idea.
Yeah.
To take this concept and put it on the big screen.
Well, and you have to remember, too, it was at this point where Comedy Central was trying to get them out the door. So this is before they signed on with Sci-Fi. So it was this weird kind of middle moment. It was right at the end of, I think season 6. Then they were going into season 7, which they cut very short. We have only just a few episodes in season 7. And then shoo them out the door. And then they came back on Sci-Fi with season 8 after this. So
that just makes it even weirder because here's $5 million, go make a movie. Now never come back.
There was a fan campaign for this though too, which was, I mean, you don't understand. MST fans in the 90s, like, we're fucking rabid. And there are people that had a shit ton of money that would just throw at them. They're like, you know what? We work hard for our cash. This is the one thing that makes us happy. You take it. You have it. They're doing it now with Kickstarter, with what they did with the new mic and the bot stuff that's coming out. So, it was a very kind of an odd time.
If you can tap neurodivergent people when they have money.
Oh my God!
That is a very.
I got to tell you this. It's fascinating. And it's true, because I think that when I found people that liked this show, they were all, and this is why I love Eddie so much, they were all like that. All very much like that. A lot of them were just kind of like they were outcasts. They were like the guys that you didn't talk to and shit like that. But they were all like my favorite people because they had the best senses of humor. And this like spoke to us. And a lot of those guys played D&D. And we watched Mr. I went to a guy's house on a Saturday morning. I didn't even know him. I met him through a friend. I had my mom take me to the mall. I met him there. He took me to his house where a bunch of his friends were. They're playing D&D. Mystery Science Theater's on the TV. I'm like, this is the greatest date I've ever been on in my life. Did I ever talk to him again? No.
Why?
Because he kind of freaked me out.
Oh, okay.
But like, he loved Faith No More too. I'm like, God, this guy's awesome. This guy is so cool. But kind of freaked me out.
He knew too much about you.
Yeah. I was only 15 and a half at the time. I really wasn't thinking that clearly. But again, It was very much like when I saw Eddie Munson, I'm like, I know those guys. I hung with those guys. I wish he would have been one of those guys.
Now, you were telling us that this was a miserable experience for the people making it.
It wasn't even like super miserable. It just was like they were being told what they had to do, and it wasn't really keeping in spirit with, if I remember this correctly, keeping in spirit with what they'd planned. And again, this wasn't the movie that they wanted to do. So they had a library, they had options. If you notice that book at when they're having the hula party there at the end, or the Metaluna mixer, one of the guys, the guy that was in the shower, he had the actual Interocitor handbook.
Yeah.
So like they had access to stuff like that, which again, that's kind of cool, but it just was not, there was so much, and not only that, but like they didn't know if they were canceled yet, so they didn't really know what was going to happen with the show, if it was going to be over after that. So you could just kind of tell, and at this point, Trace, Dr. Forrester, also did the voice of Crow, was about to leave. Frank had just left. TV's Frank had just left, so.
And he wanted nothing to do with it.
He was ready to go. He was ready to be out the door. Joel had left. And then they did it for a couple of years, and Frank was awesome, but like he wanted to do other things. And Frank and, Dr. Forrester, they were kind of a thing. Then they tried to bring in Mrs. Forrester, Pearl Forrester, as Dr. Forrester's mom. And then she was the one that ended up taking over on the sci-fi years. You'd think I know a lot about this show. I just know bits and pieces. I'm not a fan.
What did you feel that there was anything missing in this changeover? Like, what was too different from the show?
I think for me, it's too polished. That's just not how they ran it.
Is different for sure.
Yeah, way too polished. Something that always bothered me, especially when I saw it in the theater, was I didn't like how many seats they had. I know I'm weird. I'm so weird. But you have to remember, like, there's only a couple of seats on the actual show.
If you don't know Mystery Science Theater, they're watching a movie and making fun of it, and we're watching them watch the movie and make fun of it.
Yeah.
And there's a row of seats that they're in their theater, and it's usually a certain size.
Yeah,
and it was
too many. And then they went ahead and
they had to fill the screen.
Well, they had to, yeah. And then Joel did that again when they brought it back to Netflix, and I'm like, no. That's how I know if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can tell it's a new episode. I'm like, there's too many chairs. Nope, we're not doing that. I'm sorry, it's Joel and Mike for me. It's like, I get it. I'm glad that there's a bunch of new people that are fans, but I'm vintage, and I grew up with the vintage MST, I suppose, so.
Yeah, and Jay, what's your Mystery Science Theater education?
Only what she's told me.
So you've never watched it till today?
you'd come in when I'd be watching it. You'd maybe laugh at a few things, but then we'd move on to something else. So.
Yeah, it'd be like, it's been in the background every once in a while, but not like, I've not actually sat down and watched it.
MST has been Fuzzy's background for 20 years.
You seem to be enjoying this.
It was funny. It was definitely funny.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, it's like that's how you gauge the movie, is if Fuzzy puts down any electronic and starts watching a movie, it's like, oh, they're interested. Okay, that's cool. That's a good sign. So, yeah.
Well, occasionally I'll be interested, but also playing Block Blast because my brain needs constant streams of information. Mm-hmm. It's a problem.
How you don't explode is beyond me.
It's hard not to.
It's an overload.
I'm the same way. Yeah. I gotta be working on something while I'm watching TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I play my game on my iPad with a show going in the background, and then on my phone I'll kind of be checking other things that are happening, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? I wonder why I'm this way.
We're going to be so ready for those Wall-E floating chairs.
Oh, I cannot wait, dude.
You know,
set it up.
It's not as bad as one of my friends. She put something on the TV for us to watch, and then she was watching a separate show. A separate show.
No. Tell me she had AirPods on, right?
Nope.
No, you don't do that. Cardinal rule.
2 streams of audio at the same time.
Oh, I would murder that person.
I was like, no.
Pillow on your face while you're sleeping. I'm putting you down.
I had the access. She lived with me at the time.
You should have done that. No one deserves to live when they're doing that to you. If they're alone, that's one thing. But when somebody else in the room, you're dead. You're dead to me.
And it was weird because it was like, it was Kung Fu Panda 4, I think, and then Shameless on the phone. I have no idea.
That sounds like one of my dreams. Always with the Kung Fu Panda.
Now imagine what their dreams must be like.
That's what I'm saying.
They collect that much information at once and then have to combine it inside their brain.
Oh, God, and then it manifests in your brain and then you go to sleep at night, your head explodes.
Kung Fu Frank from Shameless.
Yeah, that's kind of hot.
Her dreams were weird. They were always weird. She would tell me about some of them. There was little people. There was wars. There was little people, and there was the short people and the tall people, and the short people were underground, and the tall people and the short people were fighting. I don't know why.
That just sounds like our family.
And then she went to Metaluna.
Had a mixer.
Tell us about This Island Earth.
This Island Earth stars Cal with the sonorous voice.
He does have a deep voice.
He has a very deep voice. It like, to me, it sounds like he's dubbed. And I always thought that was very funny. Cal is in a relationship with his buddy Joe. At least that's what we cast everyone gay on this show. Yes, so I mean, like, to us, there's always going to be some.
But they had that chemistry.
They did, and you know what? But MST is known for that too. Like, if they can take these men down that are like overly masculine and be like, you know what? What if we made them soft? I love when they do that. Because immediately, like Fuzzy went right to like. There was Joe and Cal were sitting together in this science lab, and Fuzzy's like, "Oh, that's
what
you said." You're like, "Oh, look at them, they're Captain Jack and
Yanto."
Yes,
Captain Jack and Yanto. Yes,
they so cut. Yeah, like immediately
they had the thing, and then like. But then the scientist left his boyfriend, and it's like, you're not a very good boyfriend, man. You shouldn't be. You should be being like, hey, I have to take my research assistant boyfriend.
Yeah.
You sent the pilotless plane with only one chair. Where's my boyfriend's chair?
That's what I'm saying. But then he gets there, and he's like, oh, I guess I'm bi now, because then he's like dating Ruth.
Yeah,
Ruth, who doesn't remember him.
Does not remember, but again, like you have to remember, and a lot of people. It's funny. I was just watching an interview with Rick Sloan, who did Hobgoblins, and he was talking about. He's like, you don't realize that that MST is gonna take your movie, and then they have to chop it up, but they have to find places where they're gonna put, the
skits
and stuff like that. So there is a thing in the original This Island Earth that explains away why she lied to him when she first saw him. But like he calls her a sissy again, and she's like, still cold feet.
It doesn't really make any sense though.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, even with the explanation, she has no real reason to lie to him.
No. I mean, but she knew they were being watched, is the thing. So I think she was trying to make it seem like they were being, like, to try to keep it chill. She knows they're being watched.
Right.
If you had your inner roster out, you'd be watching everybody where they're at, you know?
They built that inner roster so quickly.
Well, and then they just blow it up. Like, what a waste of time.
By unplugging it.
Oh, yeah. I have to get a new computer every time I unplug mine. It's a real...
It's a problem.
The fact
I really need to stop making things so explosive.
It's like alien technology, but we still have to plug it in. How did we have the right outlets? Like, you know what I mean?
They had to have adapted it.
And that's like when they bring that back. It's like, are you in Europe? Do you need an adapter? Like, that's one of my favorite lines. It's like, yes, exactly. How do we know it's going to plug in here?
Because it has more power than they know what to do with.
That's true.
They say it could power an entire company.
So wouldn't that like just shut down the grid in an entire neighborhood if you plugged it in there? I mean, it's already like a plane, a space kind of a thing. He flies planes.
Yeah. He's a dumbass flying planes.
He's a dumbass. Yeah.
He does that thing that Tom Cruise did in Top Gun where he buzzes the tower and he loses power in his engine.
And then he turns green. Yes.
I assume that's the aliens saving him, but
it was. But he also has a delicious mint flavor in it. My favorite lines.
But like, way to undermine your character like the moment we met him. Like, he's just a complete dumbass.
Yeah. Well, his name's Cal. Cal.
That was my favorite line. That was my favorite line from you in the movie. Doesn't he look like a guy named Cal?
I mean,
he does look like a Cal.
He does look like a Cal.
Because he kind of resembles a little bit of from Titanic.
Yeah.
Billy Zane.
Oh, he's definitely a Billy Zane.
He's a definite Billy Zane.
His voice, like it does sound like he's dubbed because he's like, wah, wah, wah. And Mike does a great job doing the Cal voice, which I always...
He's got the jaw, too. He could be the Shadow.
That's true.
Or no, he wasn't the Shadow. Which one was Billy Zane?
Billy Zane was one of those.
Yeah.
Billy Zane, he just was
Alec Baldwin was the Shadow.
Oh.
I can't remember. He was a superhero in some movie. I don't remember it now.
I don't either.
Because we skipped it the year it came out.
Oh, right. Because we do that occasionally.
I can't remember all of this stuff, guys. Come on.
God, we almost watched Celtic Pride.
If it had been free.
I know.
If it had been free, we'd be talking about Celtics basketball.
I did not know that was an Apatow.
What?
Did you know that?
No.
That's an Apatow movie.
That's fucking crazy.
Or he had, I don't know if he wrote it or I don't think he directed. I think he wrote it. But yeah, that's an Apatow movie, which probably meant that it had some redeeming qualities, but you have Dan Aykroyd and Daniel Stern.
Dan Aykroyd and Daniel Stern play a couple of Boston Celtics fans who are obsessed with the Boston Celtics, and they find out that they're playing the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals, so they kidnap the Utah Jazz best player, played by Damon Wayans.
Is this your favorite movie?
They're going to hold him hostage to help the Celtics win.
It's not a whole lot of, you don't really believe in your team having to do that. That's why we watch This Island Earth instead. Because no one wanted to sit through a Dan Aykroyd movie.
Not really. I mean, I'm not even the biggest fan of the Blues Brothers, to be honest. So,
for my money, if it's Dan Aykroyd, it's got to be Ghostbusters or My Stepmother's an Alien.
I don't mind My Girl.
Oh, yeah, because he's not in it that much.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Plus, I can just, anytime I want to mess with Gen X women, I can just go, he needs his class.
Oh, my, fuck you. I hate that movie so fucking much.
I haven't seen that movie, but I've seen that scene.
That's a little tip, MJ. If you want to mess with Gen X women, just say, he needs his glasses.
See, I don't feel that way. I have more of a reaction with David Tennant leaving Doctor Who.
I don't want to go.
Nope. Fuck you. Still. Or the moment that Amy Pond shows back up and touches Eleven's face when she's like, Raggedy Man. Oh, God, no.
That is a beautiful moment.
That's a beautiful fucking moment, man. That last speech that Capaldi's Dr. I'm going.
See, I haven't seen the last speech of Capaldi because I haven't seen all of his seasons.
Just murder you because it's the greatest speech ever given by any doctor in my Amazing.
Yeah, but what about the speech that Djimon Hounsou gives to Russell Crowe when he's trying to get him up for the fight in
In
Gladiator?
Amistad?
Gladiator!
Oh, whatever.
I'm kidding. I hate Gladiator. I was trying to think of a really manly movie.
I was like, Amistad?
I couldn't remember the names of the characters in Rambo other than Rambo.
And Rambo's not even his
Richard
name.
Crenna. Damn it.
Oh.
Ah,
You know Richard Crenna?
I just did.
Mr. Science. Not Mr. Science. Oh, yeah, actually. Mr.
He was on
Science
one? I thought you were going to say Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one in This Island Earth was in Murder, She Wrote, though.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Mike Nelson was on Murder, She Wrote.
That'd be one. Mike Nelson on Murder, She Wrote. That'd be awesome. But no. Sean told me that they're remaking Murder, She Wrote.
They are. Have you heard who's going to star in this? Jamie Lee Curtis is going to play the Angela Lansbury role.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's interesting.
But it's not okay. The thing is, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom was actually in Murder, She Wrote. And I, she has some good memories from that, but you just can't remake gold. I mean, you can, depending on how you melt it down, but you're not a golden show. Not a golden show.
MJ, what was your favorite line in the Mystery Science Theater movie?
I don't know.
There were a lot of really good ones.
See, I can't pick out specific lines from that. I just know that they were funny. But
you sound like Donald Trump talking about the Bible.
Yeah, all those words are my favorites.
They're my favorite words.
It's all my favorites.
Best words in the world.
I can't pick them up. I can't pick one.
I hate him.
Let me quote you from B movie.
Do you need to watch one of your kids' films to get a speech? For me, the movie is it's so, because it's short because they have to cut it up. But one of my favorite things is something that they do in a lot of MST, especially the sci-fi, especially science labs. They one of my favorites is there's a moment where it looks like there's a marble in a vise. And they're like, but you can barely see it because it's like a frosted glass piece. And they're like, pasty labs where nothing is distinct. And it's one of my favorite lines. But like in this one, they're talking about where it looks like they're putting like this metal thing that looks like a toaster pastry into the toaster.
Oh, that one's great.
They do that a lot. They do that, warming the syrup. Like they do stuff like that a lot. And it's signature that.
The thing that broke me was they're putting together the interocitor.
Mm-hmm.
And every time the assistant takes a step in the lab,
it's crushing things.
Mike's making that noise about him crushing everything that he's stepping.
2,488 pieces. 2,047, sir. Crush. That's so good. That's so good.
It's such a great show. I only recently started watching episodes regularly.
I used to show him episodes. Like he'd be like, "All right, give me an MST episode." So I just throw one in every once in a while, and we'd watch them. And I pick ones I kind of knew you would get the references to. I keep thinking of Future War with You because there is a reference. Like for me with MST, I was that nerd that if I didn't understand a reference, I was on the internet looking it up right away. I had to find out what it meant.
I did do that during the movie today.
Oh my gosh, I would do it all the time. That's why I know all the references now, and that's why I'm actually very brilliant. Is because I studied a lot of this stuff just so I didn't know who Charlie Varick was until I saw EGA. There were a lot of things I learned, but when I showed you Future War and I didn't understand Chuck Wepner's point of view, it's because he had red coming down the screen.
Yeah.
And who's Chuck Wepner?
Chuck Wepner was a boxer who got his ass whipped by Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And he finished with blood all over his face.
I didn't get that until you said that. I'm like, yes, that's another one that I didn't know. That's great. Thanks for filling. I could have looked that one up, but it was just good that you knew.
During this movie, actually, they said they did a joke where they got a package and he goes, "Oh, my Niels Bohr calendar is here."
I'm like, a lot of people don't know who Niels Bohr is.
He's a physicist, and they're physicists. It makes sense.
Niels Bohr is not a good-looking person.
I thought he was really handsome.
Oh no!
I thought Niels Bohr was pretty handsome.
No,
well, that reminds me of the
his name is not
episode
handsome.
on IT Crowd.
Yeah. Oh my God. For boss-eyed people. I want to talk about IT crowd all the time, but fuck Graham Linehan. Like, I wish that wasn't the case, but I still quote it. I on Easter, I sent a picture of Richmond to Fuzzy. I'm like, he is risen. Richmond? He's Jesus. We love him.
Richmond, Jesus.
He's alive. Yeah, so I don't know. My favorite thing about, I think, the movie is that one of the talents that they have, again, I'm going to reference another one that they did called Werewolf, if you've ever seen it. There's a whole scene in a bar, and there is like this triptych on the wall of Native Americans and buffalo and all this kind of stuff. And as they're panning, like for no reason in this movie, like they're literally playing pool and the camera just goes to this Native American triptych on the wall. And so Mike and the bots just start riffing up there. It's like, thanks, white people. Thanks for stealing our land. Like, they just and it just goes all the way across it. And it's so good. And they do that so well. Some of my favorite things, Werewolf is a good one for that too, is how they talk over the credits. The credits, one of my favorite lines is, it's not ending enough. End more. Like, I love
That's me with a lot of these movies.
Stuff like that. And this movie, again, I think they do. Andrea Action Jackson Duquesne is during this, like, Rando. So the end of this movie, there's a guy named Rando that was in the credits, and Tammy's kids were little, and I would take their Beanie Babies, and I would do little short or like skits with the Beanie Babies, and one of them was named The Amazing Rando, and that actually came from Mystery Science Theater. And yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
It's the randomness that just you can't predict what the joke is going to be. And I remember I was watching an episode, and you'll know which one it is when I mention the joke. But for some reason, Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank are dressed as Tug McGraw and Raleigh Fingers, who are
Angel's Revenge.
They're like 1970s relief pitchers.
Yeah.
Baseball relief pitchers. Why? I don't know. Dress as your favorite relief pitcher day.
They're trying to get better ratings. That's the same one where they give Mike and the bots medicine that makes them turn into the cast of Renegade? Then you watch the ratings just tank as his hair gets shorter. Oh God, so many great. I'll walk out here and Sean will be watching an episode and I'm just like, oh, and then I just start talking. Because to me, MST is like a good album. I know all the words to it. And that's a problem that I have. I really worked very hard not doing that while we were watching this today, by the way. You can thank me later, but
so tell us who are the aliens with the giant foreheads?
The Muzzalunans?
Who are our characters?
Oh, Brack and Exeter.
Brack and Exeter seem like a happy couple.
They are. They're very much lovers. I liked when they had the dinner scene and they were sitting at opposite ends.
Like mom and dad.
You could just tell that Brack was just like the bitchy, like they better love this meal and work so hard on this. Brack and Exeter.
I couldn't tell the difference between the two of them.
Brack's taller. And Exeter has more of a dimple in his cranium.
Which is something like the professor from Gilligan's Island noted. When he was drawing pictures of them.
Yeah, like just sketching you.
His incredibly useful character.
God.
Who shows up for, 3 minutes and then dies?
They do some good Gilligan's Island jokes. Just as many as they could get in before he got killed. Yeah, I think he had a cigarette in his mouth twice and then he just exploded.
And the rest.
And the rest. And the rest.
That's how he's introduced on Gilligan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was really no purpose of him.
Yeah.
Dr. Carlson. No thanks.
What year was this Island Earth?
19...
It's in black and white, so I mean, it was a while ago.
Excuse me. It's in color.
What?
It was in color.
It was in color?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Were you not in the same room with us?
Oh yeah, it was.
It is a 50s film.
Yeah, it's quite old. Well before Gilligan.
God. Mom was born in 1940. Would you say, God, she's quite old?
Well, yes. So she'd be like in her 90s right now.
She'd be in her 80s, 86. 1955 is when the movie came out. Yeah. Yeah, so it's weird too because the film itself is not that terrible. Like I think it's certainly better than some of the movies that we've seen. The Bloodwaters of Dr. Z, I think, I'm just saying.
I would have preferred The Incredible Melting Man.
Oh my God, that one. Again, we're talking that's season 7. That was
what movie did they want that they couldn't get?
If I remember, they had. I mean, they had plenty, but I think it was just who Universal had. I have to see if I can remember. Because
I've stumped Amy, MJ. I stumped Amy.
Oh, you didn't.
Whoa.
You didn't stump me. God. It's just you have to remember, like when I like the super obsession that was this show. It's been a long time. I mean, I started getting into this show when I was 17.
It was a long time ago.
15. Yeah, whatever. And so it's been a while that I remember. I mean, I used to have. If you asked me this like 20 years ago, I'd be like, oh, here we go. But it's taken a while. It's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while. Yeah.
This movie this was very funny. I don't think it's as funny as an average episode, though.
No, that was the biggest complaint, and actually, any one of them would tell you the same thing. That's exactly they've done better episodes. Considering like you think of like some of the bigger episodes, Manos. You see a little nod to Manos in this, too, which is great. Nice. Manos, Iga. From like the Joel era, from the Mike era. I mean, my favorite is Teenage Strangler. It's probably one of my all-time favorite ones. Plus, it has the best short right before it. One of my favorite shorts of all time. They're just markedly funnier. They're just any one of them from the sci-fi, like Phantom Planet. Like Phantom Planet would have been perfect for this. Perfect, but we wouldn't have the 2-hour runtime that we had on sci-fi that could give us more and give more jokes per second. Like Phantom Planet, or I would even say Werewolf. I would say Merlin Shop, Mystical, like any of those, or my Giant Spider Invasion. I'll say you can watch those. You can watch it once. You have to continue. You have to go back and watch it again because you're gonna miss jokes. That's how rapid fire it was in an episode.
Well, that's something that somebody on IMDb trivia said is that they kept it short because they also didn't do the density of jokes that they usually did because you have to leave room for people who don't know what they're watching, so they're able to laugh and then catch the next joke.
Yeah, the fans our brains have to work fast, very fast. So yeah, that's and that's a shame too because then it reminds me of season 1 when they didn't write scripts, they were literally just riffing, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's when it was great," and it's like, no, I like it better with structure. I like it better when the jokes are thought out, and it's more rapid fire than season 1, but there's still those like little pauses that normally would have been filled by Tom singing or Crow saying something just asshole-ish, and it. But I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't know much about
it. So this piece of IMDb trivia claims that Universal originally thought the release would be going limited. They would put it out in college towns because they thought that's where the MST audience was, and they were wrong.
And they were wrong.
They end up they spent $5 million and the movie barely made $1 million.
Yep. Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah. How big was do you remember the crowd you were in when you saw it?
No, there was like 2 people.
Wow.
Yeah. And that person, was it Kenner? It was one of my friends. Which, again, back then, I guess that's not really a surprise, but we went to, it had been there for a couple of days. So the fans are going to go the first night, which I didn't get to go to, so.
I mentioned the Incredible Melting Man specifically because they actually talked about when they did that after this, that they parodied making a movie, and that was actually kind of healing for them all.
Yeah. That makes sense. Healing. They deserve some healing. After all the deep hurting we've had over the years.
Well, and the divide. So there's been a divide. There was a divide for a long time between camps of fans, the Joel fans and the and Mike fans.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
Well, because I started off obsessed with Joel. I wrote so much fan fiction about Joel. I literally, like pencil to paper, people, not like a computer. Like I actually hand wrote these stories about me and Joel. But Joel was still part of like the MST. Like he was still there while Bill was Crow in my mind, in my stories. But then as I got older, my taste shifted. I would say probably when I started watching the sci-fi ones, and I'm like, they're just, I don't want to upset people because this might upset them. Because Joel is the creator, sure, but Mike is just, I think he's just better at the sketches. He has better timing. There's a reason why he was the head writer, because he's just really good at that, and I just think that. I think it's funnier.
I think Joel's background in stand-up kind of makes him more of a singular comic. He seems to have a harder time playing off the others in my estimation.
And you have to know Joel, when he was doing stand-up, he was for all intents and purposes, as much as they make fun of them, a prop comic. So a lot of his stuff was still like, he'd do these funny things with with this stuff, but he didn't have to rely so much on trying to, make eye contact with the crowd, Mike was more of a born performer. He'd done theater. He'd done all this stuff. He was a waiter at TGI Fridays.
There's an actorly confidence.
Yeah. And I think that's just his background. And he was very nervous about taking over. Very nervous. But he didn't get nearly the hate that Kevin Murphy got when he took over for Tom Servo.
Really?
Somebody actually took the time to print out a banner off of their computer that said, "I hate Tom Servo's new voice." And so they sent it to Kevin. So Kevin put it up in his office. It was up in his office for like the longest time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's totally bizarre too, because Kevin Murphy is one of the nicest human beings to ever exist.
Straight up, and
I've interviewed him twice
voices
on the radio, and just the nicest guy.
Yeah,
and an incredible writer who absolutely loves movies.
Yeah, he does. He does. Well, and that's the thing about everybody with MST is that like Frank was he was erudite when it came to films. Like he knew film and television. Like he would just rattle off stuff. That's a lot of the great referencing came from him.
Yeah. Just try reading his Twitter one time.
Oh my God.
You have to actually watch the Friendly channel on cable if you want to understand some of the stuff that Frank is referencing.
But like the thing is, like that's why he watches that channel, because it's memories for him. But like, you should follow Frank Conniff on every social media platform. He's just brilliant. But this is how we got to know him was being TV's Frank. So
I actually listened to his podcast. The Mads podcast. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was very funny.
Oh, of course
the movies they did on that.
Trace is hilarious too. And the new one with that Mike, Bill, and Kevin are doing MST again via Riff Tracks. Trace is back for it, so that's amazing. That's we and most of the people that worked on the show are back doing this, which is the only way will watch it.
It was never bitter. That's the main thing.
No,
that, like everybody thought when they were doing Riff Tracks and the others were doing Cinematic Titanic, people assumed it was a bitterness.
Mm-hmm. And that just wasn't the case, because Mary Jo was going between both camps, doing stuff with both Riff Tracks, was part of Cinematic Titanic. Her and Bridget, actually, if you follow Riff Tracks at all, her and Bridget do some of the best fucking shorts on there. They're so funny. I mean, they all still like each other. It was never about that. It was more Jim Mallon. It was more, this guy that thought he was doing everything right for the right reasons, and Jim
he was the director of this,
and basically the showrunner, we'll say, too. But Joel didn't agree with a lot of the stuff that he wanted, because it was Joel's concept, it was his whole thing, but Jim wanted to take it in one direction. Joel didn't. Joel left. And slowly but surely, Jim was doing the voice of Gypsy for a long time. He ended up out. I don't know. There's a lot. It's boring if you don't care about it. But yeah, ultimately they're all still on really great terms. So yeah, I don't know. I just want everybody to watch Mystery Science Theater, but don't, because it's mine.
That's the thing. Everybody become fans, but don't say anything.
I don't want to commiserate with you. I don't want to talk about episodes. I don't want anything to do with you.
I don't want to be part of a club that would have me as a member.
That's straight up. That has been the story of my life. If somebody would tell me, like, they're like, oh, I'm really into this band, and I'm like, fuck, I guess I don't like them. You no longer respect the Cocteau Twins.
Have you ever had that happen though, MJ, where like you're there's a person that like you don't think is very smart, and then they say they like something that you thought you liked, and you go, maybe I don't like that.
Oh.
It's like, oh yeah.
If they get it.
What a stab to the heart that is. Every person I've ever tried to show Mystery Science Theater, every fucking person, and there's one in my head, and I will not say her name because I still want to like sucker punch her, but we're sitting there in my living room. This is like 1996, 97, whatever. Sitting in my living room, and I'm watching MST, and we're just kind of chit-chatting back and forth, and she goes, this is stupid. And I thought, this is the night she dies. And then, like, and I invited her over, like, we hadn't seen each other in a really long time and stuff like that. And I literally, I look at her and I said, you don't have to stay. I invited her over, but I wanted her to leave.
You were choosing Mystery Science Theater.
Which I will do every time.
I've been there with my own mother. My mom will be like, this is dumb. I don't like this. I'm like, you can go into the other room.
Literally.
You can go, like, she'll do that to Supernatural, and I'm like, you can go in the other room. That's fine.
Hey, Mom, maybe go turn on an episode of Love Boat.
Oh my God, she likes the worst.
She loves Love Boat.
And she admits that it's awful.
Oh, I love Love Boat.
But she still loves it anyway.
Love Boat and MASH. She's obsessed.
Oh my God,
She's obsessed.
MASH is a good show.
It is. It's a pretty good show. For me,
Love Boat's trash.
Fuck off. Oh, which makes my eyes dance? MASH with all of its brown and green, or the Love Boat out at sea where Charo's shaking her tits in a red and pink and yellow top? Sorry, I'm going to pick Love Boat. I want my eyes to dance. I don't want to die. Out of boredom. 4077 this.
I'm sorry, but when Julie left, it ended. I'm sorry. Okay? Julie left, it ended. I don't care about those 5 seasons that she was in there.
There's 5 seasons that she was
5 years after Julie left, yeah.
That's not right.
It's true.
Your cruise director's the most important person.
Yeah.
Fuck Captain Stewie. We just want to see what Julie's hair was going to look like that. She always had the worst captain in tea. Mom cut my hair to look like Julie the cruise director's every fucking year. If you look at my school pictures, it's like, oh, that was season 4. I'm just smearing Vaseline on my face so you look shiny in the pictures. Yeah, why is dirt sticking to my face at recess, Mom? There's so much trauma. And Mystery Science Theater was my therapy. So. Yeah.
Well, your other form of therapy is next week's movie.
What's up?
The Truth About Cats and Dogs.
Yay! Say what you will, you motherfuckers, but Uma Thurman and Janine Garofalo and the hot Ben Chaplin, it's going to be amazing.
When they tried to make Janine a movie star.
Well, the thing is, she was to me. One of Uma's best lines in that, she goes, I'd fuck you. I love that line. I love that line. Yeah, you can watch Maya Hawke's mom be hot in a movie.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
She's hot in every movie. What do I?
Yeah.
So, whatever. Truth About Cats and Dogs next week. Awesome.